Hi guys, welcome back to another episode on my tiny little channel. As usual, you know the drill. If it's your first time here and you like what you see, please give this video a thumbs up once you're done. Share it to somebody who you feel might benefit from this information. Leave a comment to be part of the conversation, contribute to the conversation, and of course subscribe over there. If you're watching from Instagram, go to the YouTube and then subscribe. As you can see, I have a guest.
Hi.
Her name is Caroline Vundi, aka Dr. Vundi, aka the wellness doctor.
My government names even.
Guys, I know, it's because we were in high school together. By the way, if you follow me on my social media, I think you've seen me push an episode that I did with her about 2 weeks ago, where on her channel we discussed, basically she does stuff on mental health and mental wellness. So we discussed toxic traits, and today she's come onto my channel to discuss what you can see over here.
Hey guys, thank you so much for having me, Julia.
Welcome
on your not so little tiny channel. I love the growth. I love that you're doing something new. You're always like challenging me and pushing me. So yeah, I think you link up the episode we did together.
Yeah, up over there. Cool beans. So today I'm with Vundi, and we are, what should I call you here? Vush or Dr. Bidea?
Imagine anything. Please don't do that.
You know, doctors get very sensitive about how you address them.
I'm not one of those, but some actually do.
Yeah.
Especially the professors. They'll
Yeah,
be like,
this
hi doctor. They'll be like, but no, I'm Vush. You can call me
ego. This is Vush.
Yeah.
For you guys who don't know, I was in high school with this babe, and we were good friends. Do you know what I've just remembered? We had like a clique of 4 of us. What did we used to call her? Do you remember we used to have a name? It was me, you, Sheila, and Fiona.
Oh my god, did you have a name?
What was that? I think it was like our study group.
It started as a study group.
As a study group, yeah.
But it was just stories.
I know!
We had to disband it. Yeah. I remember we had to like disband because it wasn't
working. Because the prep starts and all of us are extroverts. The prep starts, babe. And then before you know it's 9, you've not done anything.
Do you remember when we were told to go sleep because you're talking too much?
Yeah. Until now, because we are noisemakers, we were told, since you don't want to do prep, go to the dorm.
I'm so happy.
Do you know how we were deprived of sleep in high school?
The punishment lasted 1 day.
Yo.
1 day.
Oh, it was only 1 day?
Yeah, they didn't bring it back because they saw how much we're enjoying that punishment.
Everyone, it was not only the 4 of us, it was the whole stream.
The
noisemakers. So the good kids wrote the people who are noisy in their class. Me, I was number 1 for sure.
I was somewhere there and I'm like, snitching.
Babe, and then everyone who went to the dorm, it's like index 1 to 15.
Thank you.
So
you can read and still talk.
You can read and still, in fact, you need to talk so you can empty your brain for things to enter. Hey!
And we're here still talking.
Yes.
Yeah. Wasn't for nothing.
Yeah, some water. No shade. Today we're discussing something that I've been wanting to discuss on this platform for quite some time, which is, first of all, mental health in general and anxiety in specific. The reason this is something that I feel like it's close to me, or like I want to talk about, is because I'm familiar with anxiety. Sometime in the past, there's a psychiatrist or a doctor who I went to see who told me that I have anxiety and at the time some mild depression. I honestly don't believe his diagnosis anymore.
I hear you.
Because I know we talked about it. The depression part, I'm not so sure, because he was so quick to give me medication and I'd only seen him twice. And I was like, don't we need to talk more? I want you to talk about my childhood trauma. But I've been able to manage it as I get older. So I wanted her to come here and discuss that. And how we're gonna do it basically is, first I'd like her to talk about, from her medical perspective, what is anxiety, and then we're gonna do a little bit of a test, which I think I want you to tell them what the test does, and then we take it on from there.
Yeah. Thanks for being like open and honest. There are so many guys who are going through what they don't know is anxiety. Like you feel like there's something wrong with me, but you don't know what it is. You can't put a name to it, you can't put a label. So I'm glad you're bringing this out to light, and especially now during the pandemic, it's very common. So basically, anxiety is a disorder, and what a disorder means is that there are specific symptoms we look out for before you say somebody has anxiety. So as psychiatrists, we use a diagnostic manual called the DSM-5. So it literally has like a set of symptoms that you have to meet that criteria before you say this person has anxiety.
Right.
But the thing is, the doctor has to really get a good history. Like the first session you have to talk for like an hour.
No, we did like 15 minutes.
Yeah, because it's a lot. For example, the first hallmark symptom is excessive worrying for most of the day, like every other day, for a period of 6 months. Unless you get a proper history, you can't just diagnose somebody you have anxiety. Then there are other symptoms which are actually even more physical kind of symptoms, like, you know, that lump in your throat feeling.
Yeah. So mine is not in the throat. I feel like it's over here. Like I feel like I'm stukaing when I'm not stukaing.
So it's either the lump in the throat or the chest tightness. Sometimes you can even feel like you're having racing thoughts, like you can't just pace your thoughts. And especially if those thoughts are worrying. Because I wanted to start by saying worrying is normal. A certain amount of stress is normal. Especially if you're having a stressful period, like everybody goes through those times. But if you feel like you're not coping, it's interfering with your work, it's interfering with your relationships, you can't seem to control it, you can't seem to get off the stress wagon, then you're now heading more towards anxiety disorder. And like it's also about severity of symptoms.
Can you have mild anxiety? Like,
yes.
Because I think what you're describing I have, but it's not like the worrying to do every day for 6 months, interfering with my relationships. But you
can't control it. Like, for example, if the worry comes, you know, when you're having, let's say you are somewhere, let's say you're at work and you're worrying about something. People with anxiety, it's an overwhelming kind of thing. Like, you can't shut it down. I usually say, imagine if right now a lion just like broke into this, you know, you can't think it through and be like, okay, lion, just chill, let me check, you know, it's like flight. So for them, that's how they feel. Your heart starts racing, they're sweating, there's the lump in the throat. Even if you're at work, even if you're driving, like there's that sense of they don't have control. So there's severity to it. There's also some people who have it in a seasonal way.
So that's probably me then.
Especially now during COVID, there are people who were otherwise just okay and then they develop it. So sometimes it's also good to monitor somebody over time. And not just to be like, take these meds for the rest of your life, bye. Is
it something you're born with, you're just anxious? And you have to deal with it for the rest of your life? Or it's something that can disappear with maybe, I don't know, medication or maybe some sort of other interventions?
Having a family history of anxiety predisposes you to having it. So there's that kind of genetic component to it that puts you at risk. But then now there are other triggers that now will now precipitate you to get it. So say for example, my mom had anxiety, generalized anxiety disorder, but my life is just fine. I don't have really anything going on.
Trigger me,
and then one day, let's say I'm involved in a terror attack, you know, then that will precipitate me to get it. So there are those factors. So I wouldn't call it as much seasonal, but there's some seasons in your life when you go through things that can tip you off. So the doctor might put you on some medication and might say, I'll follow you up for this amount of time, and then if you've been stable for some time, they can give you a drug holiday and see if you can cope by yourself. Because there are many coping mechanisms, and I think we'll talk about that. Sorry, some people will need medication for life. There are those people who you give them a drug holiday and they can't cope without the medication. But there's some who, you know, with therapy and other stuff, they can actually stay off the meds. And then if there is a trigger coming again in their lives, they use the medication for a short time. So you can go on and off your meds, but not you yourself. Your doctor with your doctor. So it's a journey with your doctor.
All right, so I want us to do this test so I can see where I stand. Are you gonna do it as well?
Yes, I'll do it as well. So just to introduce the test, this is called the Generalized Anxiety Questionnaire. It's actually been curated by a group of mental health professionals, so it's a standardized test. So we'll do it together.
Cool. Okay, so just finished. Should I read mine first?
It's your channel.
Not surprised here. 5 points: mild anxiety disorder. Functionally, the patient is somewhat having difficulty with life tasks due to their symptoms.
So mine is 3. That's no anxiety disorder. So basically, maybe I can read out the scale to guys. 5 to 9 is mild, 10 to 14 is moderate, and more than 15 is severe. But of note is that this tool should only be used for screening and monitoring symptoms and cannot replace a clinical assessment. So I guess we're just doing it because we are doing this
and we're trying to educate people.
Yeah, but I'm not now endorsing it to be used by you guys to diagnose yourselves. The other thing is, in as much as we've done this, we also need, you need to rule out medical causes,
right?
Because sometimes medical issues can cause anxiety, like thyroid issues, or even so you can be thinking it's anxiety, but kumbe you have a thyroid problem.
So the thyroid does what? It makes your brain produce more cortisol.
Yeah, so the thyroid is in charge of your metabolism,
right?
So if it's
maybe you have a thyroid issue, we can fix it and get skinny.
Actually, if you have a thyroid problem, it affects your weight, all that stuff. So you need an assessment. So guys, don't go and do this questionnaire and then say, now I have anxiety. You need a medical professional to check you out.
Okay.
And I was also suspecting that yours would be mild.
Okay.
For mild anxiety, I guess now what you're thinking is what next. Yeah. I think for mild anxiety, I would recommend, especially if you're not like very debilitated, therapy.
Yeah. You see, even as we're sitting here, I can feel my anxiety. It's right there.
Really?
All the time. There are times it's not there and I'm fantastic, but there are times it's there, but I do feel like I can talk myself back into like normalcy. So nowadays I'm able to like talk my way honestly, like much easier out of it, and I'm also able to identify the triggers. Before I didn't even know what was going on, and I think it was even affecting my acidity.
Yeah,
you know, I got hyperacidity, but now I'm able to like talk my way through it.
I think you need to find a psychiatrist you can walk the journey with,
right?
Because the worst thing is for the disease to the disorder to like progress, because now you're mild. Yeah, you remember we said like life experiences can trigger things. So fine, we are mild, we are doing therapy, but you need someone to monitor you and to know when, okay, now Julia, things are bad, now we need you get. So I would recommend a second opinion.
Okay.
So for anxiety, I would recommend you have both a therapist, that's a psychologist, and a psychiatrist. And if you don't find a good psychiatrist, get a second opinion, even get a third, get a fourth.
Okay.
Don't give up, because you want the day if things get bad, you have somebody who you can like fall back on, who you trust, who knows your story. Yeah, that's what I'd advise.
So before I do that, what can I do? I know you talked about coping mechanisms. I want to know if right now, if you leave between now and me getting a therapist, whether I have a therapist, but then insurance, guys, you medical professionals or that medical body or whatever it is, can you make it easier for us to access mental health professionals? It's just like there's so many obstacles. But when did we start talking about me seeing somebody? It was last year. Until now, the year is ending. It's a year and a half later and I'm still trying to get a good, I got a good one, but then if they're not in the system, then I have to get an
then you have
insurance, getting claims, insurance companies. You guys are not fair.
But if things get really bad for guys out there, the Department of Mental Health in Kenyatta is really nice.
Okay. This is Kenyatta National
Hospital. There's a Department of Mental Health. It's really affordable. It's about 600 shillings to open a file. So, and you get now guys like psychiatrists, psychologists, like there's a whole department, child psychiatrists. Yeah. So I think it's the information guys don't have. Yeah. But back to the coping mechanism. So what can you do before? The first thing is just to be aware that you have this thing. Yeah. I like that you know when you have this thing, you talk yourself out.
Yeah. Before I didn't know what was happening, I'm just like, what's going on? Now I'm like, okay, we're getting to the anxiety space right now. Yeah, it's building. I feel it coming.
That thing is called mindfulness, and that's the roots, the basis of even meditation.
I meditate, yeah.
You do?
Yeah, because of that. Yeah.
I tried meditation. I don't know why it just doesn't work for me. I think I don't know, it just doesn't work for me.
But that's the problem. People think meditation they have an idea what meditation is to look like. Silence, connection, levitation. You know, Wow.
So you're already doing like one of the things I would recommend.
Okay, good.
That's meditation. If you can't meditate, mindfulness, just being present. There's this thing, you remember we went for the mindfulness talk?
Yeah, it was with you.
Yes.
Yes. You went for mindfulness talk. Yeah. Oh, wow. I forgot about that.
Being present. Like if you're eating, just eat. Just eat your food. Don't eat and work on your proposal
while watching
YouTube and answering a phone call. Just be present. If you're talking to Julia, just talk to Julia.
Yeah.
If you're taking a walk, take a walk. Don't take a walk and then also now you want to start planning your day. You get so mindfulness. The other thing I can recommend is aromatherapy. I don't know if you're into that.
I don't know what that is, but I have a diffuser with essential oils.
That's what that is.
Okay.
We should do a whole episode on aromatherapy actually, because a friend of mine does, she's into essential oils. Like she studied this oil does this.
Is she the one who I bought my candles from and my box and my essential oil?
Is she called Brie?
She has short hair and she can give me a journal. I mean, I bought a whole box at your event.
Yes. And then another trick is to put it in your shower. So you go with your essential oils and then you put it at the corner of your shower.
Or you drop
the oil. So when you're showering, that steam.
Okay.
So it's a good way to start your day and end your day. All this stuff, by the way, you can get on YouTube. You can just check out grounding for anxiety.
Grounding for anxiety, that's good. Yeah, ground yourself. And deeping. When I take in a deep breath and then exhale, I feel like that tightness in my chest like it is relieved a little bit.
Babe, you're now teaching.
But then the tightness comes back immediately after. If I continue thinking, I have to do it many times.
Do you know breathing exercises was literally the next thing I was going to say?
Okay.
There are many on YouTube. You can Google, like they show you, let's say a triangle getting bigger. That's now
inhaling.
Inhale. Then when you get
hold, and then exhale.
Yeah, but there's one called 7-11.
Okay.
So you breathe in for 7 seconds. Hold.
That's a Beyonce song, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bucket in the air. Hey. Beyonce is connected.
She's onto something. Yeah. So I think it's 7. Then you hold for 2. Then you exhale for 11. Yeah.
Those things work because when I'm in the situation, I'm like, I'm not gonna be like 7. I can't. Tell me what to do in that moment. Because these things usually I find them so like, mystical. At it's breathing. I'm like, at that moment you can't remember. Does it work?
It works if you practice.
Okay.
You see, if you don't practice, it doesn't. Like for me now, it's become like autopilot. For example, if it's during an argument, you can't now just start having breathing exercises. But everything is about practice. So you know how you are saying sometimes you're driving and you feel that thing, like a wave or just that weird feeling when it comes. So first you understood what's happening. That's when you do it. And when you do it once and then again and again and again, it becomes like you get so used to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
One more coping strategy is what we call worry time. And it sounds silly, it sounds kindergartenish, but like worrying is okay sometimes. Like sometimes you go through things and you need to worry. So the point is not to worry all the time, the whole day. You're just worrying and putting your thoughts, like letting your thoughts run you over. Yeah. So schedule a time to worry. Just say, I'll be worrying 30 minutes before bed.
That's the worst because you have bad dreams.
Or if I wake up, I'll spend 5 minutes. And this is good when you're going through something. Let's say you've lost your job.
Right.
You kind of have to worry, like it's normal. You have to think,
I like this.
You know what I mean?
You're going through a breakup, but you can't be like, I can't not worry. But the thing is, so now that would be a good example of like people who don't understand anxieties. Like imagine you're going through a breakup, that thing is in your head all the time.
Like a running commentary.
When? How come? Why? So people with anxiety, they have that on a daily about regular shit in life.
Or about even nothing.
Or about nothing. Small things that like, did he look at me funny? Did I do something? So yeah, you can tell yourself, this is not my time to worry about said breakup or said anxiety thing.
So if I'm
only worrying between 6 and 7 p.m. Then I take a bath and then I watch a comedy. Go to sleep.
If the thought comes again at 11 and you're trying to sleep, you're like, no, you're scheduled for tomorrow. I know it's easier said than done. I know. But it's worth a try. Easier said than done. I know. I'm sitting here and I'm just talking about nice hippie things, but if you do one thing today and another tomorrow and another, it makes it
a difference. Yes.
But the hallmark is therapy.
Great. I love this. I think we've come to the conclusion.
Yeah.
This is the end. Nice discussion on mental health, specifically anxiety, and also maybe for somebody who's watching and they feel like they don't have anxiety, but they feel like my mom has it or my boyfriend has it. I have a friend of mine who told me the other day, she's like, she thinks her boyfriend has anxiety because they talk, he says he thinks he has it, and then one day she was like, sometimes they're sitting on the couch and then he'll be like, Ebu, put your hand here, and his heart is just racing. And there's nothing wrong, there's nobody who's coming to attack him. And I was like, girl, that's anxiety.
That's so important. I wasn't expecting that question, but how to maybe help somebody is, first of all, just to normalize the conversation. There is so much stigma. Let's always talk to people in love. Like when you're talking to someone, I think it's not for me, I think you have a problem. I think you need to go see someone. So come from a place of love, and also do your research, so that if I'm coming to tell you, Julia, I think you have this problem, if I ask you what do you think, you're not just looking at me like, I don't know, you know, you've kind of, I think this is a problem, I think this is the person you should see. I think that, you know, so you're at least leading them to, fine, you've told me you think I have anxiety, then what? Then what? You've done your research, you've talked to a psychologist, a therapist.
Thanks a lot, Bush. Thanks for coming on board. I hope this message has helped you or helped somebody that you know. If you think this video can benefit somebody, please just hit the share button so that they can come back here and figure things out. At the end of the day, she said the main thing, the core thing, all these things are good, but go see somebody, go see a therapist.
Absolutely.
There's a tweet I saw where this lady put a thread of like medical therapists and psychologists and psychiatrists. Do you remember that thread?
I saw it.
I'll look for that thread, guys, and I'll put it in the description of this video. So if you're wondering, okay, which doctor do I go to, just follow that link. It's a link on Twitter. That's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching.
I'm dying.
Waithera from Nyamakema has come out.
Are you from Nyamakema?
No, I'm from Nyeri. I'm from Moranga. Ni kwa Nyeri.
So
thank you so much for watching. Thank you for watching, guys. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe. I'll see you guys later. Bye.